Hello, friends, and welcome to another session of Late Night BJs with me, Buko Juice, and I would like to greet everyone a Merry Christmas, or if you are not a person who celebrates Christmas, Happy Holidays. I am here right now with no particular topic in mind. I do. It is Christmas Day here in the Philippines already. It is 2 a.m., 2:05 a.m. specifically, and there really is Merry Christmas! I have some new stuff because it's Christmas and Christmas means stuff generally. One of them is a new mic. I don't think it's in the camera. There it is. Sort of see it. It's a, it's a starter mic, I suppose. It's a newer N700, NW700. And what else do I have? If you've been here last week, you know that I have a new camera. So things are picking up. We're starting to get more and more equipment as we start streaming more often. Today, I'm also experimenting with streaming at 1080p. I think it's on 1080. So ideally, you should be able to see things more clearly. What are we going to talk about? How has your Christmas day been? For me, so far it's been quiet. Bianca and I ate a quiet Noche Buena together. She cooked salmon steak and mushroom soup and some ravioli, which is fun. I also was in a video call with my family earlier tonight, and they had steak and hot dogs, more steak. And then my brother got back just as midnight arrived, and he fixed up some drinks for my family. I can pull it up. My brother knows knows a thing or two about mixing drinks. That's part of his job. Let's see if we can open it. So shout out to Toby, my brother. Let's see. Let's see if we can pick up the oh, before anything else. Let me know if the music is too or if it's not loud enough. There. Since we are on a Christmas theme, we should be playing the holiday background music. Let's see. I am looking for my brother's drink mixing abilities. It's somewhere here. There you go. Save image as Toby. There you go. I hear this is a dark forest drink. There, can you see it? So it looks cool, right? It looks creamy, but also alcoholic. Gives you that Christmas feel. I've never actually had eggnog, especially alcoholic or otherwise, but I kind of want to try it sometime. Speaking of drinks, this is late night BJs, so you should always have a drink. Keep yourself hydrated. Tonight I have pretty basic cow's milk, but it is one of the drinks I read that cow's milk keeps you hydrated about as much as water. Not sure if that's true. Do you think it's true? Lechcast says eggnog is the best but rare here. Yeah, I think the best way to get eggnog is just to make it from scratch yourself. I think it's easy enough to make. I saw a few videos on how to make them, and I've been curious, but I haven't taken that step into actually making some. Hmm. Yeah. From the looks of it, it's very thick and creamy, but also warm. I think there's like some either cinnamon or nutmeg in it, if I remember the recipe correctly. I don't really know. So if you are not from the Philippines, you might not know that We don't really have snow here, so I've never actually seen snow. And things that warm you during Christmas are a bit, well, I won't say odd, but unusual here. Usually, you just go for Coke or soft drinks in general. A lot of people go for wine, but I do want to try eggnogs one time. Okay. So that is my brother's concoction. What else happened for Christmas? A lot of people are sharing their food. I wonder if we should share food. I think Bianca took a picture and placed it in Discord. Let's see if we can find it. Bow, 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 bow. So let's see. Go. There's one. That's our salmon steak. It looks a little messy, but it's very delicious and actually very thick and filling. Just this, just one slice each already like filled us up. And I think I was hungry to begin with. Let's see. Then here's the ravioli. Ow. And then here is the, what did we miss? The mushroom soup. And here is a picture of our messy kitchen. Ta-da! So we have ravioli with some tomato sauce, some parmesan, lemon was used on our salmon steak, etc., etc. So that's been our food today. How were your Noche Buenas? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I will read them out if you want to share. Oh, okay. Lichcasts says that if I want to show their food, he can put it on Discord. Sure, sure, Lichcasts, go ahead. Let's look at food because I don't really have a topic tonight. I was thinking about doing something with condiments. Maybe if we have time later, we'll do that. Because last week we had a lengthy discussion about anthropomorphized condiments because of Datu Puti, because of the legend of Datu Puti, which is a myth about a Datu at around the 12th century in the Philippines. And his claim to fame is that he's white for one reason or another. Either he had a European ancestry or he was albino. One or the other would have been true. Or maybe he's the son of a diwata. What? Okay, let's wait for their picture. Here you go. This is from Lichcasts. It's quite a bit actually. There. So Lichcast tells us that salad, spaghetti, stroganoff, embutido, Sean. I see it. It's over there. One with rosemary. Buko pandan. Is it rosemary or is it another herb? Because usually, lechon. Mm, what was that? Was that herb? They usually have like that tide thing. Lemongrass. Yeah, it's probably lemongrass. Grass that's usually in lechon. Yes. Correct, that's correct. So, let's see. Tanglad. Okay, we call it tanglad. That's true. I think I remember now. What else? Philippine Twitter, sorry, not Philippine Twitter, Philippine Facebook is actually filled with everybody's Noche Buenas. And we have this tradition somehow that has arrived with the advent of Facebook where people take family pictures and then put in Merry Christmas from our family to yours. Which sounds fun, but also I feel like I've done that myself a few times. But also, I feel like my family doesn't really care about my friends much. So I'm not sure if my family is actually greeting a Merry Christmas. If that makes sense. But I certainly am. Merry Christmas to my friends and to people on my streams and to people who basically check out Book of Juice RPG. I really appreciate you being here. It's been a fun time streaming, and really, the I do this streaming thing for fun. I'm not really well. If I can monetize it, that'll be fine, and I would enjoy that. But that's not really why I am streaming. I'm just streaming because I find it interesting, and also because, well, in the pandemic, it's easier to play RPGs over stream. Let's see. Ah, yes, it makes sense that it's a family photo postcard. I see. Um, my experience with the diaspora in my family is that my immediate family didn't really travel as much. My father spent around 1 or 2 years in the US, but then he went back home because of pressing matters. So that was my experience with OFWs. Ah, but extended family, like cousins. I have cousins that migrated, and of course, I have cousins in Japan. I have cousins in the US, from both sides of the family for US. Where else? Where did my in the US? Yeah, yeah. I don't remember them sending us. Although my grandfather spent around 10 to 15 years in the US and used to give gifts, but they don't always arrive in December. Sometimes with customs issues, January or February. So that's always been a fun time, I guess. But yeah, I suppose that's what it is. It's diaspora culture. From our family to yours, Lichka says, means one nuclear unit to a related other nuclear unit, i.e., they still don't care about our friends. That's true. But it's a little bit different in Facebook, right? If you post it on Facebook and you set it to public and the Merry Christmas from our family to you. You're assuming that my family will appreciate your Christmas greetings, but in truth, it's only me who sees it. So it's really an odd artifact. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm saying it's odd, but I appreciate the gesture nonetheless. Yes. Now let's see what else is there. Check out Facebook. My Facebook is on my non-streaming page because something unexpected might show up, and I don't really want to be banned, right? Because Facebook is a hit or miss. Let's see. Also, I've mentioned that I have a new microphone, and this is my first real stream of using the microphone. So let me know how I sound, if it's okay. Excuse me. So currently my microphone is around half a foot to my left. Cool, cool. So it sounds nice, huh? Nice, nice. Also, here's a shot of my hair, which I don't really put attention to, but it started to get really long. I'm not sure if I have to cut it soon, but I'm not really in the mood for a barber just yet. So, what else do we have to talk about? So, what Christmas presents have you gotten? For me, I got in addition to the microphone and I suppose the keyboard is also. Ooh, what happened there? Start. Odd. So in addition to the microphone, and I think the keyboard is also a gift from Bianca. It's a Keychron K8 if I'm not mistaken. I've been using for past few weeks now. The gift of early sleep. The potato dialogues took it away. Well, cohabitation has its perks, I guess. Merry Christmas, Ragradon! Hello! I have a new mic, so I might be sounding different. But also, I can drink now without my mic in the way. I also got from my company Christmas exchange gift a headphone stand. So now I can put my headphone. Let's see. So now I can put my headphone on display because it actually takes up a lot of space, and this eliminates like 80% of the space that it takes up. Still kind of a big space waster, but at least now it is more secured. Yeah, secured is the word I'm looking for. What makes a pineapple fashionable? History. So a pineapple from the neighbor, Potato Dialogues says, she buys vegetables from a mask from a neighbor I buy meat from. A punch from the neighbor I buy fruit from. Ah, that's a lot of retail. Yeah, I actually got two. I gave the spare to Bianca. The spare is white. Let's see if we can. It's basically the same, but it's just white. Uh, Bianca doesn't use it. See the background. Ah, her headphone is on the table. Let's randomly fix that. OC lang eh, no? Fine, fine. You're a subscriber, so I will leave you alone. You have that badge. Founder, 1 month subscriber. I appreciate it, really I do. I really enjoy you being here and hanging out with me. And let's see. So let me know what gifts you've gotten and what you want to share. What do you get if someone subs? I think I get some cash. I think I get. I'm not sure how subs work and how much it's worth right now, but if you sub, I get a part of the proceeds. 50-50 payout according to Ragredon. So yeah, I think I have $4 something in Twitch now, which it's not gonna pay the bills, but you know it's nice. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. And also, if you go to my Twitch, no, oh, don't show Facebook. There you go. If you go to my Twitch, somehow pause it immediately or mute. Okay, it's muted. I have some bits here that you can use here in my about page. So for example, if you spend 250 bits, click on John Cena, and you play it on stream, you will hear it. Let's see. Let's try John Cena. Play on stream.
And his name is John Cena.
I lowered the sound for that, so it's not going to be too loud and overpowering. So that's one of those new things about being an affiliate that I haven't really tinkered with as much yet. But later on, when I have time, because I am on holiday, so later on I can look into play more sounds and something about emotes that I need to fix up. So that's some of the things that I can do later on. What else? So let's go back to the chat. What do you get if someone subs? Well, it's a coffee. Yeah. So earlier, I asked on Facebook if, let's see, this one I think we can show how. So I basically just asked for some ideas. A little bit too small. So, say holiday edition of Late Night BJ. Ah, I should have hidden the chat. Okay. So what can I talk about? And some of you suggested Christmas themed games. I was thinking about this, but I am not really that familiar with Christmas themed games, especially in RPG. I've seen a few in my RPG life, but none that are recent, and I didn't really have time to research, so I couldn't do Christmas themed games. Um, Bianca also mentioned Yule Lads Adventure, and because of that, I learned about Yule Lads. Apparently, they're an actual thing. They're supposed to be a bunch of elves, if I'm not mistaken. Here you go. So we have Gryla and Lepaludi. I could be butchering their names. So I'll try to not mention. Excuse me. Apparently, they're a list of 12 or 13 lads that arrive over the course of 13 nights. So there's one that is a spoon licker, one that's a pot scraper, one that's a bowl licker. They're elves, but their their art suggests they're more dwarves. Although I suppose that's subjective to the lore of your setting. I see why Momitos knows about them. that's that's them. Um, it's an odd bit of trivia for Christmas. Also, you have discovered that I am using Microsoft Edge. Anyway, there you go. Go back to chat. That quick chat hide. Yeah. Let's see. What else is there? Spoon licker is the best. I like the one whose basic job is to slam the door loudly. Like, it, basically, they just damage your door. Why do you do that? Why? That's why I have to like lock the door because you just slam it shut really loudly. It'll wake everyone up, and then you'll damage the door, and now I'll have to pay for door repairs. Let's. What else is there? Oop, tie that again for now. As we look around for some Christmas stuff. Christmas stuff. Let's look at what happens if you just randomly Google Christmas. 25 December. Gee. You think Christmas is on December 25. Then you have Christmas on Wikipedia, a Wikipedia entry, history of Christmas. Oh, we can probably show them. History of Christmas, Christmas holiday traditions, gifts, definition, origin, traditions, history, and facts. Why is Christmas celebrated on the 25th of December? Right, right. We all know that. We all know that Jesus' actual birthday isn't on the 20th. But you know, people can celebrate symbolic birthdays, and I suppose a god can do the same, right? What else? So also, going back to the Facebook question earlier, Eric also mentioned condiment pantheon idea. I was thinking about it. Who do we have in terms of condiment pantheons? Random Googles are always a smart idea. Yeah, but you should hide the initial results away from Twitch in case something unexpected shows up. Like for example, you shouldn't Google late night BJs because you might. I've never actually tried. Let's see. Oh, that would be an interesting thing to look for. Late night BJ. Yep, don't Google that. Yeah. Regrets. Gotta fix the SEO for late night VJs. Yeah. A good thing. It's a good thing I have two screens and I hid it on the other screen because yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be banned on Twitch, guys. I just started. So condiment pantheon ideas. It was the reasoning for that was because wow, it was from my months. Let's label this December 25, late night. Okay. So, okay. Let's. I wonder why the Kubao free doesn't show up here. Oh. Anyway, let's go up to 48. Oh, I just said 48. 48. There you go. Tapow. So we were talking about condiments. Where did it go? Really, OneNote. We had Dato Puti. Dato Puti. What does Dato Puti do? He feels like a warrior slash explorer deity. Explorer deity. So if he's part of a pantheon, he has like warrior proficiency piece, maybe navigation. Someone recommended peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich. What? Why? Why would you combine peanut butter and mayonnaise on the same sandwich? Okay, I may be biased because I am actually a person who does not like mayonnaise. That's one of the... I have a very wide palate for food. I will eat just about anything, and I will also eat mayonnaise, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. I mentioned this once with a group of RPG friends way back in the day. I randomly mentioned that I grew up in a household with no mayonnaise, and as an adult, mayonnaise always tasted odd to me. And then their response was, "You poor thing." And I'm like, "You don't know 90% of the food that my mother prepares, okay? You have no right to tell me that somehow I missed out just because I didn't grow up with mayonnaise." Well, what kind of mayonnaises have you encountered? I've barely encountered any. So, generally, those bottled mayonnaise things. What's a mayonnaise brand? I can't even name a mayonnaise brand. That's how detached I am from the mayonnaise world. Lady's Choice. I think I've tried Lady's Choice. So, it's just this weird white sour sauce. And when it comes to white sauces of a sour nature, I prefer like the garlic yogurt sauce that you add in shawarma. So far from mayonnaise, right? Most especially the strong tasting one. Yeah. I mean, if you guys like mayonnaise, I mean, more power to you. You win. You like mayonnaise. It's just that I don't. I'm like, ugh. I mean, I'll eat it if it's served to me because I'm polite that way. But it's so weird. Mayo alone is weird. I suppose, yeah. So no one eats mayonnaise by themselves, of course. Or, I don't want to say no one because there's always that guy on the internet who's like, "Tonight I will eat this jar of mayonnaise in 30 seconds." So, if you're lonely enough, yeah. Mayo on sisig. I prefer to put... What do I put on sisig? Maggi. Maggi... What's the name of that? Nor seasoning. The MSG one. Alamansi, yes. Mayo in kare-kare. Look, you put bagoong on kare-kare and peanut, but mayo? Okay, okay. To each their own, to each their own. So we have Dato Puti, the Explorer deity. And of course we have Silver Swan. So Silver Swan sounds like nature, grace. What else comes from Silver Swan? Yes, we're working on the condiments. Wait, we're going to go through each of them. Isn't Silver Swan also a vinegar? Yes. But Silver Swan is actually more known for their soy sauce. And while Dato Puti, while they also have is more known for their vinegar. Swans are rude AF. Yeah, right? It feels like spoiled yogurt. But also, I'm one to talk because I like blue cheese, for example, and that's basically just sort of spoiled cheese from a certain perspective. The what would their okay, if Silver Swan was a god, what would their domains be? Why would you worship the Silver Swan? Why? What powers would it give you? Fear, fear, tempest and still lakes, sense of foreboding. A great transformation. Oh, transformation. That is actually very interesting because that means they would be like a god of werewolves, lycanthropes. So this has potential. Oh, swans are monogamous and are good parents, as are Philippine eagles. I was looking into Philippine eagles, especially because one of the celestial eaters of the islands of Sinauna, by the islands of Sinauna, by the way, in the deckofmany.com. It's we spent about a year and a half on the production of that, and I think the hard copy is going to start to distribute. Anyway, I got carried away there. It's just me saying that Inokawa, one of the celestial eaters, patterned after the Philippine eagle, and in researching the Philippine eagle, I found out that they are monogamous to the point where if one of the partners die, other will refuse to mate with another one for the rest of their lives. So that contributes to why they're endangered because they have a very large range, several miles per eagle, and then we don't have a lot of rainforests left in the Philippines. So there's not a lot of room for them to explore. That's why we don't have a lot of Philippine eagles left. I think they're down to the hundreds now. But yeah, they're super cool and super big. Their wingspan, I think, can reach to 7 feet. And in earlier decades, the Philippine eagle was referred to as the monkey-eating eagle because they do eat monkeys as part of their diet. And imagine if that particular bird was bigger, and consider that humans are basically a bigger type of monkey. So that's some of the ideas to have for Minokawa. Anyway, I got carried away there. We have Silver Swan, we have Dato Puti. Who else do we have? We have, I believe it's Mang Tomas. Mang Tomas is the god of lechon. Lechon. But I don't really know what Mang Tomas does. He strikes me as a katipunero. Look for Mang Tomas. Yeah, Mang Tomas strikes me as one of those one of those Katipunan guys, right? But mostly it's because he has a salakot. And I've seen a salakot that's made of tortoise shell. Really cool. Known and desired across the diaspora. Oh yeah, that works out. So, but Dato Puti had navigation. So let's remove navigation from Dato Puti. Ha! You're not as strong as you think, Dato Puti. And then let's imbue it in Bang Tomas. Navigation, travel. Who else? These are all local sauces, right? We're not going to look at Worcester sauce or what else? Or Kikoman. Jufran gets fruits for the banana. Oh yeah, yeah. God of fruits, Jufran. Speaking of Kikoman, do you all know the Fight Kikoman video? It's from old YouTube, so it's basically a YouTube classic. I'm not sure if you remember those. Ajinomoto. So let's write those down, and then we'll look at their call this. We'll look at their domains later. So Ajinomoto, Fran, and then Oren Gods. So we have Worcestershire. Worcester. I believe that Tershire is silent. Sorry, the Shire is silent. It's Worcester sauce. And yeah, Roman. Papa banana ketchup. I feel like Papa and Jufran, we can add one or the other, but not both. Jufran. So Jufran is basically just a banana. like, is that the consistent branding? Just banana? Oh gosh, he's banana god. He also does sweet chili, but mostly he doesn't even have a mascot. I like this one the best. It's just I am a banana. Papa Jufran. Where's his third sauce? 24. Ah. So we'll keep that huge banana on the screen. Or that. I think it's better if you see the chat. So, let's see, Nor. Nor isn't contained in the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. But also, Nor has a wide range. Hey, Nor is a chicken. Is Nor consistently a chicken? No, just for the chicken cubes. Let's look at the Google entry for Nor. Nor. UFC. Well, is it like the god of cage fights? Our products, tips and tricks. When you're a big enough, I guess when you're a big enough company, you don't even bother with an about us. Oh, there you go, about us. Oh, it's Unilever. Karl Heinrich Knorr. Back in 1838, Karl Heinrich Knorr opened the factory and began experimenting with food drying techniques that could preserve quality, flavor, and freshness. Is that what UFC stands for? Nor is a German company. Yeah, I feel like if we're going to have Nor, we're going to discard the whole German part of it, and we're just going to accept, because there's a lot of Nor. In when I was traveling Singapore and Malaysia also, there was a lot of Nor around. Well, apparently it's a surname for a German guy named Karl Heinrich. Wait, I don't actually see it, huh? There you go. Wow. I was 2 years old when I learned Nor was German. Mamacita! Mamacita! Wow, I feel like Mamacita will have some kind of relationship with Bang Tong. Like maybe they're siblings or something. Sibling rivals. UFC is Universal Foods Corporation. Ah. So is UFC their over god, like Awo or Yahweh or um who else are over gods? Or the progenitor gods of Eberron, Sybaris, and Kyber. Evil over god. Let's see. UFC. Jufran and Mamacita. Let's add Mamacita. What is Mamacita known for? They have a bunch of sauces, but they are most their sauce. Because when we buy oyster sauce, we tend to strongly prefer ikamki. Ikamki. Ah, ikamki oyster. Oh my gosh, he's a panda. I think I want to add that in the foreign gods. Ikamki. You've all seen the Fight Kikoman video, right? I mean, I assume you have because you're internet dwellers. Let's see. Can I play that? I think that's copyrighted. Fight Kikoman. So just check it in YouTube. But I won't play it. Because I might lose things. So let's look at their TV tropes instead. Back in the early 2000s, some ASCII artists on the web forum 2 channel used Shift JIS to create a parody superhero based on Kikoman soy sauce. Soy sauce warrior Kikoman was a muscular man with a head resembling silver fish-shaped packets used for soy sauce in Japan. Wearing nothing but a cape, gloves and boots, and a fundoshi with a Kikoman logo superimposed on his chest. So one of those videos in early YouTube, which was contemporary to Charlie the Unicorn, the Badger song. Wow, early YouTube was weird. Wala tayong sili god. Yeah. That's usually because our chilies are prepared fresh, right? We usually buy them fresh or we actually pick them from our backyards. Even before YT. Yeah. It's around early mid 2000s, maybe slightly late aughts. Oh, the internet back then was different. It was less. It was more blind fun. and then things got complicated. Yeah, I suppose it's just the nature of things, where especially when things become mainstream. But anyway, what else do we have? So let's see it one by one. Ajinomoto is Ajinomoto. What would Ajinomoto be about? I feel like Ajinomoto is the umami god of Asian food. It's not limited to Filipino food, certainly. Like I remember Uncle Roger swearing by Ajinomoto as part of MSG, as part of fried rice. Right? Why is it dying? Why is what dying? Boy power. Who's dying? Adobe. Oh. Huh. Adobe Flash specifically. Okay, okay. I thought it was like the whole Adobe. I'm like, ah, what? Yeah, and Flash has been losing support over the years as an add-on for websites, right? A lot of Flash plugins have gone into disfavor. And I feel like that's been going on for about 5 years now, maybe even more. So anyway, Ajinomoto, basically a bucket or a bowl rather. I don't know. I don't know if Ajinomoto does Ajinomoto even have a domain. How about Jufran? Go to Jufran and open. Oh yeah, banana. So Jufran will be the banana god. We have quite a few, right? Probably we're not going to include Ajinomoto, if only because he's a bit. Silver Swan, Mas, Jufran, and Mamacita. What is Mamacita all about? Mamacita is going to be oyster. It's an oyster. If she's an oyster deity, god of the sea. What else? We have those. Then we're going to call this the UFC universe. The United Foods Pantheon. Yeah. So let's remove UFC from here. Then, do we have Maggi? Is Maggi a condiment? Isn't Maggi a noodle? Yeah, I think Maggi is more of a noodle. Oh, I don't think Maggi counts. Maggi is sometimes a Nor. Yeah, but we haven't written down Nor yet. Don't have Nor yet. Nor. Caps lock. Then we have Mamacita. We don't have a role for Nor yet. What's Norse role? So, for a complete pantheon, usually you probably want some kind of sun god or god of light, nature god, a traveling god, a god of the underworld. We don't have, so that's what we don't have yet. We don't have an underworld deity. Although Silver Swan is close, okay? Silver Swan could be could be like the death god because swans are creepy, man. Nor is chicken. All right, right. Nor is a chicken god. So suddenly super strong. Banana can be fertility. Yeah. Fertility domain. Who would have the light domain? Dato Puti would have the light domain. He's so white, so bright. Banana is fertility domain. What else? And then they're going to fight against the invading foreign gods. Where's sister? Um, how likes castles. It sounds very Welsh. It sounds very Welsh to me. I'm not even sure. Where's Worcester? Worcester. English non-metropolitan country. Worcester is a non-metropolitan administrative, ceremonial, and historic county situated in the West Midlands region of England. It's absorbed into the unified Kingdom of England in 927. Over the centuries, the county borders have been modified, but it was not until 1844 that substantial. Look at that. Bears. Their coat of arms. Mm-hmm. Maybe not necessarily fight. Maybe it's um basically the status of travelers. So this setting would probably be the setting itself is going to be of course it's going to be food related, right? Setting. This is a kind of like a cooking master boy kind of setting where the combat is cooking. So there's going to be a lot of travel because you're going to be in search of spices. Huh. Garum in Imperial Rome. So I was wrong when I said Welsh. It's very English, huh? Anglo-Saxon, Norman Conquest, High Medieval. Yeah. Okay, okay. But that's Worcester. And then we have Kikoman. Kikoman is Japan. But Kikoman will be in direct competition with the Silver Swan. Oh wow. That's something that I want to see. Kikoman versus Silver Swan. In search of the best soy. They have to compete with each other. Or maybe they will eventually assimilate. Oh man. There's that when I was visiting Xiaohan in Singapore, one of the places that he brought us was soy sauce shop that had very good soy sauce. It's not quite Kikoman because Kikoman has a very distinct taste for soy sauce, but the soy sauce that Xiao got us didn't have a very strong salty taste. It was more flavor. But of course, it's soy sauce, so there's going to be some saltiness. The same way that Kikoman is not very salty, it has its own distinct flavor. As opposed to like a lot of cheap soy sauces are very, what's the word? They're very much salt based, and because of that, they make for great adobo. Can't read the characters either. The bottle that I have is at home for the bottle of soy sauce that Xiaohan gets. But Singapore soy sauce is very good for the for making hawker dishes, hawker style dishes. So I actually quite recommend it. There's a good effects of the taste. I've tried making adobo out of it, soy sauce. And it works out well. Yeah, for dumplings. Yeah, it's good for dumplings. Yeah, that's where it really shines. I kind of want to try it with sushi at some point, but I'm not sure if it will work out. Maybe I should have like Kikoman on the side. Just but yeah, soy sauce actually has a very wide variety in flavor. So just because they look the same and they really are all soy sauces. Soy sauce? What's the plural of soy sauce? Soy sauces. I'm gonna go with soy sauces. Ah, there you go. Wow. Thank you, Lichcasts. It's Kwong Wo Ing Sauce Factory. Yeah, yeah. The factory was cool. There's like buckets of like curing sauces and the salts that were a byproduct of it. They're also selling that separately because it's basically salt with some soy essence in them. Dumpling sauce. It has a bit of chili and garlic. Cool, cool. So yeah, I think this is a set. Usually, when I think of a setting for cooking, for an RPG cooking show, when I think of something like that, it makes me think of using Fate. I don't know why. Maybe because Fate has that particular setting with, or maybe it's because one of our early conventions or our early D&G conventions focused on creating a setting for Fate, and we ended up creating a food contest setting. Yeah, gastronauts. Yeah, that setting. Yeah, I remember gastronauts. I kind of want to try running that. Could be interesting. I think the important thing about running an RPG based on food is that you would need to have, um, at the very least on the GM side, a GM who knows descriptively how taste is affected by herbs and spices and what you add, like how does garlic add to the flavor of the dish, for example, or what does cardamom do, so those little things. And then you're going to have to be creative because there's also going to be the fictional element of it, right? So, for example, if you're going to make like, to pick an example from Flintstones, if you're going to make Brontosaurus burger, how are you going to explain how the taste of a Brontosaurus steak tastes like that? But it's interesting because fantasy food is in the limelight right now because I think there was a D&D licensed cookbook recently. What was it? Let's see if we can find that. D&D cookbook. Wow. Went straight for Louis. Can you find the PDF of this? Heroes Feast. There you go. So we have, go to Heroes Feast, the official D&D cookbook. This is actually a bit of a hit and miss from what I've heard, because the problem is that when you're talking about different food recipes, you will either focus on the region that you know, or you will include other cultures, but somehow you will end up unconsciously inserting your biases about those cultures. So it's very difficult. You'd probably want like different sensitivity for different regions. Although I think for this one, it ended up with being mostly European dishes, and that becomes a problem of representation. 80 recipes inspired by the Dungeons and Dragons, aka Westworld, Western World. Wood Elf Forest Salad, Dwarven Mulled Wine. Creator of Masters of Umdar, later also made a Fate game centered on kitchen combat. Yeah, I kinda wanna use Fate for cooking. There's a lot of potential for Fate. Let's see if this has 5 star. Photos missing. Unique offerings for the. Okay, so first off, this book is not a joke. The nice thing I suppose about the about Heroes Feast is that it's an actual cookbook. But I think where it fails, there was a chance to really build a world through food, but mostly they just focused on food that they already knew. Now mushrooms. So even their underworld is very European centric. Hmm. Wow, data dialogues. Your message was held for potential problems. It's funny when you write when you write in Tagalog, and Twitch catches it as something else. I think there was a combination of letters there that could be construed as read in Tagalog. It didn't realize that it was in Tagalog. There. Anyway, I allowed it. So yeah, Heroes Feast. Okay, there's like Elven cuisine, but it's basically just a bunch of vegetarian foods, Elven bread, Elven bread. Elven bakers have protected the secret of this bread for millennia. Both nutritious and delicious. A single bite of this mysterious rolled pastry loaf can sustain an adventurer for a day or more of journeying. So you have active dry yeast, whole milk, honey, eggs, unsalted butter, kosher salt, whole wheat flour. It's just bread. Ah, man. Oh, hey, Mark. Mark Lobster. Hello and welcome to our late night BJs. We're talking about we were talking about a pantheon based on condiments, and then we transitioned into a setting that focuses on food combat. So like Cooking Master Boy or Iron Chef or things like that. And then I'm reminded of Heroes Feast, this D&D book that came out recently that had a bunch of recipes, but it's a bit lacking in certain respects, in my opinion at least. Put the fish here. Lembas, recommended by 10 out of 10. Legolas is 10, 10 Orlando Blooms. That's cool. So, food as part of an RPG is actually something that I have seen a lot in RPG SEA. Of course, to toot my own horn, I do have recipes in Kakamania. I wrote 2 recipes here. Actually, let's open my Kakamania. Pow, 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 pow. Up RPG. When I wrote Kakamania, oh, lost my Kato here. I wrote Inola. Can you see it? Although let's move to a One of the things that I liked about that I did for tinola is to all this is to use pre-colonial methods of measurement. So 1 dakot of patis, 2 dakots of chili leaves, 1 large root. Look for the other one. Let's look for the adobo. Here you go. So, there you go. 1 chupa of soy sauce, 2 apatan of cane vinegar, 3 apatan of palm oil, 1 dakot of whole black peppercorns. So, I used units of measurements that are no longer quite as well used today. Although if you're a regular of the palengke, you would still encounter these terms. They're not in vogue right now though. So 1 chupa, I really like that particular unit of measurement. Good night, Momentos, wherever you are. Yeah, I think I'm about to conclude anyway. So anyway, what the point that I'm trying to make is RPG SEA is actually leading the charge on food as part of RPG, in my opinion at least. It's something that we are seeing a lot of in our spheres. I believe the Wata ng Manila in is actually creating another. Oh, there. Wow, what a big page. There you go. Lutong Banwa is a cooking game. This is actually something that I have heard. I have been. Well, let's see. Lutong Banwa is a cooking game where you set out to adventure and find ingredients from spirits with a capital S. So it's. I don't think it's the alcoholic kind. And recipes from old civilizations. Embark on this anti-canon story game adventure with its own custom system and play to find out just what sort of zany adventures you can get in this weird wild world. So it's a game about cooking. So there are community copy. Currently, they're all claimed at $10. It's fairly recent. I think Sin was talking about this in development as recently as last month. So it's possible that it came up last month or early this month. Oh, it's in Hiligay. It's okay. But by putting it in caps, it made me feel like you're really, really excited about this game. It does seem interesting because Sin has asked me if I was interested in translating into Tagalog, which I am. Although, it's you're yet to see. We've yet to see if I have time. So I only have really this week and a few days from next week, right before January, to have free time to work on RPG. I have to focus first on my work for session 0. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm going to have time for translating. But right now, it's available in Hiligaynon and in English. There you go. Banwa English, Banwa Hiligaynon. So check it out. Check it out. It's an RPG that's very easy to get into, especially if you like food. It's not going to be an adventure game in the vein of anything like that, or in our computer RPG, but it will immerse you in a world of cooking. I recommend it. Check it out. So with that in mind, I think we will conclude this session of Late Night BJs. Thank you for showing up today. I really enjoyed I really enjoyed interacting with people in chat. It's quite an experience, honestly. And so, don't forget to hydrate. Although if you're about to sleep, Maybe limit it a little bit because you might pee in the night. I'm out of milk anyway. Merry Christmas and have a good night.